Yeah, you've got it.
Well, I'm here, and I have to enter.
Okay, so then you have to go MDB public there.
I joined the class.
Yep, so like that, public. Oh, I just had to put in public.
Okay.
And then password.
Capital G?
Yeah.
Capital G?
Yeah. On my Mac, I couldn't get it to forget the old password from the last time. I saw you tweet Again?
See, it says invalid.
Try just public.
Okay.
So step one is to get connected to the internet today. Sounds like we're trying. Let's just put it that way.
What was the code again?
Oh, sorry, yeah. That's the wrong page here. When you do get connected, go to that website you see there on the top. Put in this password, Zesty Ninjas Switch Exothermic Watermelons. Yes, of course. Those are the first words I've been choosing as well. This is a tool that pretty handy, pairdeck.com. We'll be going over this and some other tools towards the end. A little bit more. So as you're getting ready, I'll just tell you a couple things. I'll introduce myself in a minute, but one important thing that I'm doing today, so that, I know a lot of people will feverishly take notes and stuff during a session, and they will, everybody's always going to want resources. I've got resources available for you, and I'll tell you how to get to them. You'll be able to bring this stuff back, and your takeaways for the day will be right there for you. Also, though, I am going to, right now, I'm going to start a YouTube Live. So I'm going to record my screen. Everything that I'm doing today will be recorded and put on my YouTube channel. And I've included a link to that. All right. And beyond that, we're not done. I'm also going to be sharing this on my Twitter account. Okay, so as you can see right here, it's a little creepy actually. My phone is in the corner over here, and I can see it's a little delayed. It's on my Twitter as well, so if you go on Twitter, you'll be able to see the video of the entire conference there too.
Do you teach us at some point how do you do this? What you're just doing the YouTube?
So, yeah, I could. That would entail another entire session probably. It's take years of practice and things like
So
that.
you're going to do that at the MAAP conference, I presume?
Yes, I will be. Yeah, there you go. Now we're talking. Now I'll have a second session for the MAAP conference. All right, I'll go back to this screen here for those who just came in. Now, if we don't all get into this part right here, that's okay. You're still going to be able to see the power of this. If you just came in, I was asking you to go to this website right here and put in this password. We'll go here. I'm going to show you another tool that's awesome that you can show your teachers. It's so simple. Okay, so it's really easy to say, well, we'll wait a couple minutes, and then we'll do this and that. But then you lose track of time, this and that. Let's make it more exact. I'm going to go 1.5 minutes here. There we go. All right, we've got 1.5 minutes. You got a timer at the bottom. I use this in my classroom all the time. Sets clear expectations for the kids. And if the timer runs out and I need an extra minute, I just put on another minute, so be it, okay? But I have this up on my screen constantly. It's called timer-tab.com, and it's just a very useful tool. So it looks like we've got 5 people in right now. We'll wait for that entire minute to go out here. We're going to go over a few different things today. One is going to be using Google Classroom for professional development and communication. That's where we'll start out. After that, I'm going to talk to you guys about kind of a case study of a tool that we're using at the Detroit Lakes ALC where I work. It is a Google form, and we use it as a student behavior form that we keep track of student behaviors and the follow-up actions and interventions that we take due to those behaviors. It's really good for documentation. And then we will sum it up with, I always call it the fun part, where I'm going to share with you my favorite tech tools to use in the classroom. The last part there is going to apply to you as an administrator, but for stuff that you do yourself, but also some tools that you can share with your teachers, your staff. So that's how we'll do things here. All right, so
What is your YouTube channel?
what's that?
What is your YouTube?
So my YouTube channel, it is called the Classroom Technology Blog. Here's what we'll do. Let's see here. Actually, what I'm going to do. Hold on here. Okay, so to get to my YouTube channel, if you want to go to that or you want to take that in right now, if you look on the screen right here, I've got it highlighted. That shortened link will bring you to my YouTube channel. Also though, in one of my PowerPoints, don't freak out if you don't get this link right now. When I go into the student behavior form PowerPoint, I've got a link to this YouTube channel as well. But if you want to like open a new tab, go to that YouTube channel, you sure can. On this YouTube channel, this is my, I have a website, my own website called the Classroom Technology Blog. This is the YouTube channel for the Classroom Technology Blog. So not only are you going to find today's live stream on there, but you're going to find I've got 30 or more videos that cover all kinds of tips and tricks to use technology in the classroom, including anything from using the Google products to using iPad, coding, etc., etc. So again, that is the link right there, but I will be sharing this link with you very soon here again, so don't worry if you miss it. Okay. So you should be logged into, if you did get this code and you got this in, good deal. We'll get started with that. But before anything here, I want to tell you who I am and why you should listen to me. Okay. So I'm a husband, alternative educator at Detroit Lakes ALC. I am a social studies teacher, so I'm a lover of history, politics, philosophy, government, all that good stuff. Okay, I'm a technology blogger, as I mentioned, my website that I've got. I'm a consultant. I do things like what I'm doing today. I also go to the MAAP conference, the regular conference that the teachers come to every year. I presented at TIES last year down in Minneapolis, a great experience. I've got two sessions that got accepted this year too, so I'll go back to that. I also do Google Summits. And other various things, and I also teach a lot of professional development sessions at my school too. Okay, I come from a long line of technology people. My mother's actually a technology coordinator in Hawley, Minnesota. She presented at TIES before me, kind of instilled a lot of this tech knowledge with me. It comes secondhand to me, but I also understand it doesn't come secondhand to everybody else. That said, slow me down at any time today if I go too fast. Okay. I graduated with my master's degree from UND in instructional design, so I'm also an instructional designer. Now the fun stuff, I'm an outdoorsman. I just put my boat away for the year. Not much of an ice fisherman. God, do I love to fish during the summer. Got my first boat this year. I'm pretty excited to go out on that and do it again next year. I'm a rock and roller back from the day. I was in a few bands, still like to play guitar and record music as well. I'm starting to incorporate that into my classroom, and I'm going to tell you about that a little bit later on. And I got a motorcycle a couple years back. My mom had a heart attack when that happened, but she's finally accepting it now, and I love riding around a little bit. That's actually my little nephew, Rocky, on the back right there. He hopped right on back, and we went on a ride. He wasn't scared at all. That was pretty fun. So that is that. That is who I am. I'm currently going back, and this is kind of speaking to you people in the room. I'm going back for my administrative license right now, my educational leadership certificate, I guess it technically would be called, through Moorhead State, where I got my bachelor's degree. So those are my credentials. Okay, so to begin here, a couple like an icebreaker is what I like to kind of call this. So if you logged into this website, you should see this on your screen. This is called peardeck.com. It's an awesome assessment tool for immediate assessment. So on your screen, you will have your dot that you've got that you can move around this canvas right here. And kids usually understand what you mean by thumbs up, thumbs down. I assume you do too. So how is your school year going? I would assume that the person in the middle is like, yeah, okay. If you're all the way over here on the thumbs up side, I'm thinking your school year is going great. And what I'm glad to see is that I don't see any red dots. Oh, we got one over there. Hey, maybe it'll get better as the school year goes on. This is an easy way to check for understanding in the classroom. Something that you can have your teachers use. A little caveat here. So, and this will go with a lot of the websites that I share towards the end of the activity. Other than Google and a few other ones, some of these tools there's a free version and a paid version. The more I get into this, the more I realize that the paid version of these tools are way more robust. Choose one and spend the money to do it. Is my advice that I would give to you. For example, this is one here. This actual screen that you see there is not available on the free version, but when you get the paid version, you can do cool stuff like this. Okay, so I can just quick see how the school year's going now. Also, you should see on your screen that slide is gone now. I control your screens when you're logged into this. So I asked this one just to see where you guys came from this morning. So you can put a picture in there, and I even changed the icon to little houses. Okay, so you can so I can just see where you guys came from this morning. Peter, did you come from DL this morning? Or did you come down last night?
This morning.
Okay, so Peter's would be way up here. I just want to see who the winner is and who got up the earliest this morning to come down here. I came from Apple Valley, so it wasn't too far. I was pretty lucky. Looks like you guys should be well rested, judging by where you came from this morning. Oh, good deal. No yawning in here this morning, all right? Okay. So just again, another tool you can use in the classroom for easy assessment. Just to give you an idea, there's also something where students can drag a bar up and down, to show if they understand something. They can drag a bar up, drag it down. I'll show you a little bit later. A lot of options with this tool right here. But getting into what we're going to talk about right now, on your screen you should see this, and I've also got it on my screen too. Okay, so what we'll do here is we're going to go full screen. So we'll start out with talking about Google Classroom. So I know we don't have a ton of time, and actually, can you guys remind me, is this an hour session? Is it 45 minutes or an hour? You guys? Hour. Okay, so we've got 1 hour. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to show you that it'll seem like I'm taking things for granted, like you know how to do a couple steps. If you miss some of the steps along the way, it's okay, because what I did is I included a bunch of links to YouTube videos to show you how to do this stuff. There's not enough time for me to show you every little aspect of this. I can just give you a general idea. Those links are going to be your guide to helping you learn how to do these things on your own. Also, my email address is on there. Use me. Email me if you've got any questions from this point on. So Google Classroom for communication and professional development. Before we get into anything, we might as well take a look at this website here. Here's an example of a link that is in here that you can click on. So if I click on this, it's going to go to Google Classroom. Let's actually take a quick pause here for a second. Open a new tab up on your screen if you've got your computer. Where I would like you to go would be to my website, which is bradybaxter.com. And I will zoom up here. On my website, I've got a technology blog that you can check out all these different articles. For example, here's a website that I just did a review on right there. I'm updating it about once a month. I put a new thing on there, okay? But there's a bunch of stuff from the past couple of years that I've got on this website. Specific to today, if you see here up on the top, it says MAAP Admin 2017. Go ahead and click on that. This is the home base for your resources today for this session, okay? So what you can do is, if you click on any one of these items here, it's going to bring you something, or the resource for that thing. So for example, this Google Classroom slideshow we're about to go through, if you click on it, it'll bring you to this. If you have a Gmail account and you're signed in, you can automatically just add this to your Google Drive. From this page right here. If you don't have a Gmail account, you should still be able to view this. And let me know if you cannot. Okay, so again, my website, bradybaxter.com, is going to be where you're going to find all these resources. All right? Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Pear Deck version here and go full screen. If you want to log out of this Pear Deck thing where you answered that question, you sure can. Okay? Actually, we're going to go to Google Classroom. All right, so let's take a look at a Google Classroom that I've got. I'm going to show you an example of one that I use with students here, just to give you an idea of how it works. Okay, so Google Classroom is a website you can use to send out assignments, ask questions. Those are the main things. Sending out assignments, asking questions, also creating announcements. It's also a great place to organize things in a classroom, or if you're an administrator, organize files that you want for your staff to view and read, respond to, etc., etc. some of the basics here of what you can do in Google Classroom. The bottom right button here, there's a plus button. By the way, you can go to classroom.google.com and you can go to Google Classroom right now too. Okay? The plus button here allows you to create an announcement, create an assignment, create a question. Let me give you an example of how it would work. Let's say I want to create a question. It's meant to be easy. Okay, so if you click on create a question, okay, so for example, what I do in this classroom in my American history class, I'll put a today's question here. And although this is supposed to be where the question goes, I put the title in there, so be it, it's maybe redundant. And I would ask a question, for example, here, question mark. I can set a due date when I want the students to answer it by. I can even set a time when they need to answer it by. I can give it a topic right there. I can add a Google file to it by clicking on the Google icon here. I can add any one of these things to the question. I can add a link, a YouTube video, a file, a bunch of different things. Also, short answer, multiple choice, all those different things. Okay, that's an example of how you'd ask a question. Similar to that, you can create an assignment. The difference between asking a question and creating an assignment is a question is something you can ask really quickly, students answer it, bada bing, bada boom, done. With this, creating an assignment, you can actually include a bunch of materials you want people to read, then they can read it, do what you ask of them to do, and turn it in. Okay? Now, I realize I'm using the verbiage and the words I'm using here kind of relating to teachers in a classroom. Keep in mind that my focus today will be on administrators. Okay? This is just to kind of show you how things work. So this is the stream. It's it's meant to be easy to scroll down. It should remind you of your Facebook or your Twitter or something like that. Okay. The About section is the other one that's of importance today. So in the About section, you can add different files, different things that I always like to say, stuff that you're going to go back to multiple times throughout the year. Okay. So the stream in the About section are the main ones I'm going to be talking about today. Now let's go back now to the presentation and talk about a few of these things. And I'm going to kind of go back and forth as time goes on here, okay, between this presentation and other pages. So why use Google Classroom as an administrator? So it's a powerful communication tool. Powerful in that it's all in one place. You go to this one website. You have questions you can ask your staff. You can have tasks that you want them to complete. All in one place. You can include files like Google Drive files, doc sheets, slides, forms, all that stuff. Easy place for users to retrieve those important files like I was mentioning. And it can increase productivity, improve morale. I added this one. This is my opinion on this, as well as the increasing productivity. I can't say there's a study that says this, but I believe in it. By lessening the email burden. Now, I know this affects certain people in different ways, but if you get to work one day and you open up your email and you see 10 or 20 emails that are, you haven't viewed yet, you haven't opened up yet, it can be a little daunting, okay? So just think about your teachers when it comes to this. When you send out tons and tons of emails, the more you send out, the likelihood of one being, missed or not opened increases the more that you send out. So if you can lessen that email burden and communicate in another way, then it can increase productivity, improve the morale like I'm showing you. And you can be the judge of that once I kind of show you how this works today. Now, as an administrator, if you want to go ahead and start using Google Classroom for professional development, communication, do it right. Learn the program. Like I said, I don't have time to teach you the program today. You'll probably catch on to things as I go through it. Ask me later too, not a problem. But
I'm going to ask, is this a paid?
no.
Okay.
Great question. That's the good news about Google Classroom. It is free. How many of you have got, are a Google school? You've got Gmail accounts, something like that. Okay, I figured. Okay, switch it. What you're going to see, this is the trend. Okay, it used to be Apple-dominated education. I'm still an Apple fan. I will be till I die. But Google's taking over completely. Not a question. And they're leaving Apple in the dust. Okay. I'm a big fan of iPads. Touch screens are really where the future's going in the private sector and in the world in general. But Chromebooks are cheaper. Okay, it's plain and simple. Are they less quality? 100%, absolutely. You're going to have to replace these Chromebooks quicker than you would have to an iPad or a MacBook or something. That's the way it is. Who knows? Maybe in 5, 10 years, districts will say, okay, we need to go back to quality products. Who knows how it goes? But either way, Google itself is awesome. It is free. Great stuff. It works with Chromebooks, but it also works with iPads. It works with any type of a computer. Okay.
A lot of your new teachers are coming out knowing how to do this.
Sure, sure. I would imagine in their bachelor programs, stuff like that, that they're incorporating Google stuff in there. You have to. It's irresponsible if they're not teaching new teachers how to use this, because it's not the future. It's here. It's the now. Okay. So now you got to make this a priority yourself to learn it, but also if you're going to go ahead and do this, if your teachers aren't on board, it's not going to work. Okay, so you need to instill the following. This is a team effort. The stuff I'm about to show you here, you need to make it a habit. Just like you check your email, you need to check your Google Classroom. Okay? Teach them how to do things like turn in an assignment. Complete a PDF assignment, which means if you get an assignment sent out to you that's a PDF, I'm going to show you today how you can type or write on that PDF and then give it back to the person that sent it to you. Okay? Very, very useful. It's useful not only in education, but just in your personal lives. I've used this many, many times to write on a PDF, send it to somebody, this and that. Also, make this as easy as possible. If it's a multiple step thing, you have to click here and then there. Remember this step. Not going to work, not going to happen. Might as well not even try. Okay? So one way to do this, to make something easy, is the ability to save a link to a bookmark bar. You need to show them how to do that. There's a video, but I'm also going to show you this one because it's so easy and quick. Okay, so you'll notice here on any website you go to, right where you type the website near it, you'll see this lock where it says secure. If there's ever a website that is a very important one that you're going to go back to all the time, let's say Google Classroom, like I'm about to tell you about, go to that lock, click down on it, drag it down into this Bookmarks bar. Now, all you have to do, let's say that MAAP, another website here, and I think you know where this is going, okay? All you have to do now is you need to just click on that, and it'll bring you back to Google Classroom. Have your staff save this bookmark in their Bookmarks bar. Then it's one click away. No excuses. Okay? Very important. Your Bookmarks bar can get kind of full. If you right-click it, click on Edit, I can actually get rid of the text. I know that brown classroom guy there, that means Google Classroom. It takes up less real estate right there, so just another little tip. Again, watch these videos too, because I know I'm going through this lightning fast, all right? So I'm going to tell you about 2 types of classrooms today. So there's the top-down approach, okay, where the administrator is the owner or the teacher of the classroom, and only the administrator can add materials. Everybody's involved, though, in a situation like this. This is when you're pushing out stuff to your staff for them to do, okay, or getting your opinions on something. The second classroom I'll talk to you about is where the administrator and staff are the owners of the classroom. All staff can add materials to this. Everybody contributes in that way, okay? So I'll show you the difference between these two, and I'll give you tips to do with each one as you go, okay? So let's do it this way here. This is where I will kind of move away from this presentation for a minute, and that's okay. This presentation is meant mainly for you guys if you want to view it afterward. The stuff that I'm just going to be organically talking about is going to be in this presentation, okay? So let's take a look at an example here. That one actually. Okay. So what I did to create this classroom to start out with here is that when you get to Google Classroom, it'll bring you something like this. You have to log in probably, but there's a plus sign here. You click the plus sign, and then you can either create a class or you can join a class. I chose to create a class, okay? And we're going to go to MAAP Classroom 1, actually, right here. Okay. So you're an administrator and you have a PDF document that your superintendent or the curriculum director, the powers that be, have given to you, and you need to give this to your staff, and you want them to reflect upon this PDF. Old school way of doing this, you copy the papers, you give them the packet. They have a pen, they write on it, okay? There's not necessarily anything wrong with that. It's actually, the writing process, I believe, is very therapeutic and has got its value. But to go digital, in the name of going digital, save some trees, this and that, saving money to do paper, you can do this exercise paperlessly, okay? So let me show you an example of this. what I've got up here are some saved assignments that I've already created here. To do this, you just click on the plus sign and you were to go to assignment, and that's how you go about creating it. Anyway, so, all right, so what I did here is I took a connectivism learning theory. It's a reading that I did for my admin degree that I'm going for right now. Recently just did this. Something similar that you'd kind of see to, other things that you've handed out to your staff before in the past, I assume. And you have them read it, okay? So one, you've now sent this out to your staff members. They can easily click on it. If they want to print it out, they can, okay? Otherwise, they can click on this and read it. Now, the second part of this is, beforehand, what you want to do is you want to create a Google Doc. It looks like this. And you might ask questions like, what were the 2 takeaways you had from reading this article? How can you apply what you learned in the article to how you teach in your classroom? 2 simple questions, okay? Now, if you normally create a doc like this, and if you know anything about Google Docs, what you have to do is then you have to share this with your staff or with students, and then they have to make a copy, and then somebody screws up and types on the original one, and then it's like all messed up, right? Okay, everybody's experienced this if you've used Google Docs. What the cool part about Google Classroom is, as a teacher, this was a game changer for me. This is when I said, goodbye, Schoology. I don't care about you anymore. This is when I got into Google Docs or Google Classroom. You can make a copy automatically for each student. Keep in mind, by student, I mean staff member, teacher, when I say this stuff, okay? So when you add, let me add this one more time to show you how I did it. So you add this connectivist learning theory questions, you click on add. Okay, it's already been attached. We'll do it again, here we go. So you add it. Once you do that, it gives you this option that you can just give viewing access to the person. For example, this PDF, I'm just giving them viewing access to that. They just need to be able to view it. They're not going to edit it. But with this one, you click on it, and you go make a copy for each student. Okay? Another cool thing that you could do, let's say that you want all staff members to type in their takeaways on the same page. Let's collaborate on this one, learn from each other. This is we're one click away from doing this. Instead of make a copy for each student, you click on it and you go, students can edit file. What that means is that I'm sending the exact same Google Doc to each person, the exact same one. If one person types on it, the rest of them will see it. This can be a collaborative activity. Now I'm showing you how to do this in the class or with your staff for professional development. Tell your teachers about this though too. What kind of a cool activity could that be where all students are in the document, they can all contribute to it. This is just a Google Doc, by the way. You can do this with a Google Slides file, like a slideshow. Everybody in class can make a single presentation. At the end of the hour, you look through the presentation, everybody can learn from each other. Pretty cool tool. And all you have to do is change that to students can edit the file.
Then are they able to delete everybody else?
Yes, again. So now this is a great opportunity to teach digital citizenship at that point. What's appropriate, what's not. If someone does delete something in any Google Doc, you can go back and see the history of it, and then you can find out where it went, kind of screwy, and then you can fix it. Okay. So this is just one example how you can send out something like a PDF, and then also have a Google Doc to go along with it and have people answer it. Let me show you here what it looks like when people turn it in. Okay, so now you can, this is all about, Google Classroom also is all about accountability. So you're sending something out to your staff. You want to know, okay, did they read it? Did they read it on time? Are they going to be prepared for the meeting where you're going to talk about it, for example? Set the due date to the day before, whatever it may be. Tell them to turn it in beforehand. Okay, so you can view it and see on what they're writing, but also so they're just held accountable for doing what they need to do and be prepared. When you set a due date and people turn it in, it looks like, let's see here, okay. So this is my American history class. I can see that the people that have turned it in are on the left side right here, not done. Students that have not done it are on the bottom right here. So I know who's done it and who hasn't. Quite simple, yeah.
You show to help those who are supposed to turn it in, how they actually do that?
Yes.
That's what I need to know.
Yes.
I don't know how to do that.
So,
and I have a few
take a
teachers
look at
that
this
never
here.
turned it in.
Sure.
I
Go
know
back.
they do.
If you go back to the slides thing right here, the second or third slide, teach them how to do it. Turn in an assignment. To do that, watch this video. Click on that, go to the link, it'll bring you there. Email me at the time or later today, come ask me if there's something you don't understand. Absolutely critical, because again, it's not going to work if they don't know how to do it. Okay? Don't put the cart before the horse, I think is the saying on this one. All right. So that's what it looks like when they turn it in. Now, you could also ask staff a question. So let's go back here. Oops. All right. So you just have a simple question you want to ask staff. Okay, so you click on Create Question right there. What's an example of a question that you would want to ask staff members? Anything come to mind? Like a single question that you want to ask them about anything.
Maybe adding something onto the agenda.
What should we add to the agenda? Okay, there we go. You want this to be a short answer one that you send out. Okay, and this needs to be done before the Friday meeting, so you're going to put Thursday there and create a topic here, agenda. You know what though? Actually, I'd actually put it as question. That'd be up to you how you want to do it. Okay, so I send it out right now. Okay, and then let me just show you quickly here what this would look like. We need to sign up for this classroom. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the student view. If you're in Google Classroom, you can add this link right there, or you can add this class code to join it. I've got a video about how to join in the slideshow, so just keep that in mind. But for right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this code, and I'm going to sign up for this class as a student and just show you what it looks like. Okay? So to join a class, click on that plus button, the same one. Okay, we're going to add this code, join. Okay, so that question I just sent out, what your staff will see is just this right here. Let's read the agenda. Okay, let's see here. We've got end of the quarter coming up. End of the quarter issues. Submit. Submit. Your staff member can submit that in. Okay. They'll also see their the other staff's answers once they submit theirs, so they can kind of see what everybody's saying. Now you, on the other end here, you're going to see, oh, let's see, one staff member's answered the question. There we go. End of the quarter issues. Okay. Pretty simple. And it's going to be there forever unless you delete the classroom. So these questions that you ask, you can go back to at any time. Then when the meeting comes up, you pull up your Google Classroom. You've got everybody's stuff right here. Boom, you just, like a checklist, go through each one, things that people are saying. Okay? This is a short answer. Like I said, you can also do multiple choice. Okay? Okay, so there's an example of that. Let's see here. Quickly, I'll go through this because I want to get into the next things that we're going to be doing as well. Another thing that you can do is, okay, so a PDF. There's links and videos to do with all of this stuff here. You can, instead of creating a Google Doc and the teachers type into that Google Doc that I've shown you before, read it, type into Google Doc, you can take a step away if you want. Okay? And a way to do this would be by using, there's another program out there. So, there's a program called DocHub. I click and I open this with DocHub. Go back into the video to watch how I do this maybe, because I don't have this one linked yet, and I think maybe I'll add a link a little bit later about how to use DocHub. Okay, but see, here's the exact same thing right here, the same reading. Tell the teachers to, it says right here, open the attached PDF in DocHub, read the article, you can take notes on it if you want, and on the last page, type your reflection. Okay, so I'm reading it here. As a teacher, you can tell teachers they can do cool stuff like, I'll do a text that sticks out here. Okay, I can take notes on page 1, notes from page 1, right there. You can type on this. You can go down to the last page, like I had said. Go to the last page, tell me a reflection. So teachers go down here, type reflection. Okay, blah, 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 blah. They type their reflection on this white space at the end. Okay? When they're done, click on here and they download this to their drive. They export it to the drive. I'm going to create a video on how to do this because I've realized that I do not have this in the presentation right here. What they do is then they save it to Google Drive, and then when they turn it in, when they turn it back in, it'll be the same document, but with their typing on it. Check my website by Monday. Check my website, and I will have a new blog article about exactly how to do this. Okay? I might actually already have one on there. It might be on my YouTube channel. we'll see. Okay? I know this is a lot of jargon. I'm going kind of fast. And I hope that I'm speaking enough to you as administrators here and not too much of my classroom tinge on this or my perspective. Any questions up to this point?
Is DocHub free?
DocHub's free. Okay? Real quickly, if you just type in, open a new tab, type in DocHub. Actually, you want not go DocHub.com. You want to go just DocHub. Hang on, being difficult. Now, if you're using Chrome, you'd want to go to the Chrome store. You can also use DocHub in Firefox, I want to say, and maybe in Safari, I don't know. But what you do is you go to the one that says the Chrome store, click on it, and once you do that, it will, here, if you don't have it, it will say Add to Chrome. Okay? So then once you add it to Chrome, then when you open up a PDF in Google Chrome, at the top, you'll say Open With, and now DocHub is going to be an option. So that's kind of how that works. I actually know for a fact, on my YouTube channel, I've got a video that shows you how to do this. I don't even need to make that blog article. I've got it on my YouTube channel. So go there, and you can find out, look up, search for DocHub, and you'll be able to find this. Any other questions so far on what I've done?
Is Google Classroom for a school, or can you just, I'm retired, can I set up a Google Classroom?
Great question. So the answer is now, finally, yes, you can. For the first 4 years or so, no. It was on lockdown. Only Google schools could officially use it with their .edu address. But just last year, they opened it up to anybody with a Gmail account. So if you just go to Google and sign up for a Gmail account, now you've got access to Google Classroom. So if you're in a school, a district that does not have Google Classroom, you can still use this. It's going to be more difficult, a few more steps maybe. Each student or each staff member would have to create their own Gmail account, but then you'd be good to go. Okay, so anybody can use it now. All right. So that's Google Classroom. I'm just going to just glance through these to make sure that there was nothing that I didn't see or that I didn't not mention. Make sure to add topics when you're doing this. With each assignment question that you do, it's important, easy retrieval later on, okay? And, good thing, okay. That was Classroom 1. Okay, that's where the administrator is the person sending out the stuff. It's a one-way street, okay? I'm going to show you briefly Classroom 2. I've got a lot of experience with this one because this is our Detroit Lakes ALC Google Classroom. Okay? So, what this is all teachers are involved in this. Everybody has editing rights. Everybody can post something. On the flip side, when you do this, nobody's a student. So you're not sending out assignments. This is more so, think PLC, think collaborative efforts. That's when you would want to use this type of classroom. So before, what I did here is I just created a classroom 1. That was you as the administrator. You create a classroom. Students or teachers will sign up as students to that classroom. Okay. For this one, though, what you do is you as the administrator will create this classroom, this type of classroom. Then what you can do is you can invite staff members to that classroom. So at the what you do is once you create it, you go to the About section. So you create it, go to the About section. You'll notice here, look at all these teachers. All of us teachers are partial administrators in this classroom. We can all have editing rights, everything. Okay? You click down here where it says Invite Teachers. This is where you type in, you invite the teachers to it. Okay? So you invite every teacher that you want to be involved with this. Then they accept the invitation, and they can now add stuff to the classroom. So let's take a look at what we at the Detroit Lakes ALC use this classroom for. Okay? Agenda notes. Our Friday meetings that we have. Every Friday, whoever's in charge of the meeting, it is their goal or it's their job to put the agenda for the week or for that Friday meeting in Google Classroom. We do not send this via email. Remember the email burden. Okay? You can send it out into Google Classroom. Don't have to bug anybody with an additional email that seems just like there's so many of them. okay, then the teachers just know, go to Google Classroom on Fridays and the agenda will be up there. Click on it, opens up. You'll notice this is nothing about like asking questions, assigning stuff. This is just resources, this type of a classroom, okay?
Are they going right now?
What's that?
Are they going right now?
They might be. What time is it? 10? Yeah, they just started. Hey, we can check and see how they're doing. Okay. So, you know, if you're the timekeeper, you're the note taker for, you know, we have that each week. Then you can just, this is an easy way for you to access, oh crap, I got to take notes today. Go to Google Classroom, click on it. Okay, now I'm here. I can take the notes on it. All right. So that's one example of something we did. We had our math teacher recorded a video of me talking to the kids about, we had a smoking, chewing, vaping issue, and we just brought some kids in, we talked to them about it. Some missed the meeting, so we recorded it. And then what we told each teacher is, you know, advisors in your advisory class, if you had a student that's, you know, had some issues with this smoking, vaping thing, have them watch the video. Here it is. Easy place to go find it. Okay, you could do this stuff in Google Drive. You know, you could just upload the video to Google Drive. But again, that's a burden. To put more and more stuff in Google Drive is becoming more of a problem. And Google Drives are getting full of stuff and it's hard to find things. Has anybody ever had this problem? And you're searching, what did I name this thing? Where did I put it? You got your trick to try to find it. And you kind of get good at, you know, making do. But it's a pain, okay? Now, let's say I want to go to an agenda from 3 weeks or from the beginning of the year. This is where topics are huge. Okay, on the left side says topics. Click on just agendas. Now it only shows me agendas. It gets rid of all the clutter. Another reason to use this over Google Drive, email. Okay, so easy. Just the agendas. A lot quicker to go up and down the page too. Okay, let's see here. You know, and just all these topics. One was an announcement here. You can just go to the topics. Jensen was a book that we're reading. The stuff to do with that is there. PLC-related stuff, resources, etc., etc. You get the idea. Okay? So, like, for example, our math teacher posted this one. It says Mike Miller posted that. Okay? I posted this one because I ran this meeting. Cool. Keep going down. You know, Nikki, she posted something here. Everybody is involved in this one. Everybody has posting and editing rights in this classroom. Okay? So this is the second way that you can use Google Classroom. I really need to get moving on now. Any other questions, though?
Where do we find out how to upload videos?
Upload videos. Okay, so real quick, we can show you that one there. So if you are in right here, you click on, so Mr. Miller, when he did this, okay. In this fashion, what you should do in this type of a classroom where everybody's involved, you're not creating assignments because there are no students, nobody to do this stuff. So you're only doing announcements. Click on announcement. Then, let's say you've got a video you've uploaded to YouTube. You choose YouTube right there, find the video. If it's a video you have on your phone, you're going to need to send that. Well, you could actually upload it on Google Classroom, the app. That's one way. Or get that video to your computer somehow and then click on the file here. Click on file. And then you can just drag wherever your video is at on the computer, drag it onto there. It will upload the file then to it. It's meant to be pretty easy once you learn the few basic things to do with it. It all kind of, it's intuitive, it makes sense. And also, that's why you got my email, you can ask me further questions. Okay, so this always happens to me. We're getting crunched for time here. I just get talking, that's the way that it goes. All right, so let me show you another thing here. Okay, so I've told you the importance of having these bookmark bars here to drag any website, drag it down to this bookmark bar. Here's why. Okay, so I want to show you this next thing, the student behavior form that we have. Boom, I just click on it and it's there, okay? So there it is, our student behavior form. So a few years ago, we had this problem where we had the different issues in the classroom, this and that, and we kind of felt like we were chasing our tails. We kind of forgot when things happened, who did it, what the exact problem was, and what our response or intervention was to that problem. Okay? So we're like thinking, what's one place where we could put all this information? And I remember it like it was yesterday. Peter was sitting in his office, and I busted in the door one morning. I said, I got it. I've got the idea. Okay? Google Forms is where it's at. This is going to be the answer to our problem here. Okay? So, I created a Google form, and what you do is you choose the period in which an issue happened, both positive or negative issues. I'll show you how to make this form in a minute. Okay? So you choose the period when it happens, including after day, all day, at school event, Fridays, during break, lunch, etc. Next step down, you choose the student's name. So you'll have to type in your student's name to this form, and when we have a transient population. When the students leave, you can delete their name from it, or keep it there because they might be back in a month. Well, only in an ALC setting can we get a laugh on that one, okay? And you need to add new students when they come in, okay? But we've got all the students that we have there, so let me actually fill this out as we're doing it here. So I'm going to go first period, okay? John Boucher here, he's a good kid, so he actually did a good job on something, and I would type in, came in early to finish work, okay? It's not the best example because normally what I'm doing is this, not the good job one, okay? Normally what I'm doing is, okay, disrespectful. What John actually did is he was swearing at me in class. I actually think we might have swearing as one of these. Okay, it used to be one of these. But disrespect, swearing me in class. So now I can submit this. I'm not going to do it because John didn't do that. I'd be doing a disservice to John. But you click on submit, and then this has been tracked. Here's where it goes. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, it takes a minute for it to load. It all goes to this sheet. If you're like one of those type A people that loves spreadsheets, this is like, oh my God, this is a great moment. Okay, it is all right here. It includes the email address of the person that entered. You'll notice it didn't say anywhere in here what's my email address. The person entering it in, it automatically collects that. Also, automatically collects the date and time when this was entered. Okay, in addition to the period in which the problem happened. Okay. It automatically sorts everything, student's name, issue, that brief description is right here. Now, here's one thing that it doesn't say advisor at the end of this. Okay, so our math teacher, genius with Google Sheets. I'm not there yet, okay? He added something here on this side where it automatically brings up the advisor of that student. It just automatically puts that in. I'm not going to teach you how to do that today because I don't know how to do it, okay? So you got that as well, but here's something that you do want to have on there is the follow-up section. What are we doing this for if we're not following up? This is all about the intervention. We've actually had some problems, and I've been somewhat guilty at times of this too, where the advisor is supposed to go in and do something as little as I will talk to him. That was me, I put that one in. Or Ms. Martinez put in this long follow-up here of what she did as a result of this behavior. Okay? This is where, this is the bread and butter of this right here. What did we do? Then, if the student, is showing a pattern of certain behaviors, okay, and you have a parent meeting or something like that, you have evidence. You can show exactly what happened and exactly what your staff and you did to intervene in that situation. It's all right here and it's not going to go anywhere. Okay? Now, just keep going down. This is what we've had this year so far. This is my first quarter, right? All right, okay.
And they're good kids.
They are good kids too, okay? But you guys know as well as I do, this is the way that it goes. And like, for example, was this just today? Yeah. Okay, so today, this is in real time. On phone. Oh, man. A couple of these are my advisees here. I'm going to be checking this out. They were on the phone during a session, and this quickly I can find out that this was happening. I can make a call on my ride home. Today if I wanted to because I can view this, okay? I think you get this. Let me show you how to do this, all right? So if you're in Google Drive, anybody created a Google form before? Okay, so it's not very difficult. And you might be saying, oh, it's easy for you to say. Let me show you, all right? So we'll do it right in here. So you click on New if you're in Google Drive. If you want to go to drive.google.com, you can. Forms are located in the More section. Go to Google Forms, create. This is where, if you don't know how to do this, go back to the video afterward and watch this, because I'm recording my screen, okay? So we'll call it Student Behavior Form, SBF. I always like to use faux, it's the make one, okay? So the first one, if you remember what I did, the first one was a multiple choice, it was a checkbox one, okay? So if we go back and you look at this again, remember, this, it was a drop-down menu, not bad. So let's go to, we're going to go to drop-down menu. This is where I put a period. Okay, so what period of the day did this happen? First, hit enter. Second, enter. Third, we have a break after third, enter. Fourth, enter. Fifth, you're getting the idea here. So that'd be the first element that you want to add. Okay? To add another question, another element, you go to the plus. Okay? So you click on plus. Now we got another one coming down here. If you remember, let's bring these close to each other here. Okay, my next one was also a drop-down menu. Okay? This one is where you have the students. So you're going to want to click over here to drop down. Okay, student name. Oh, I screwed up too. You want to put required for all of these. Let's go back to this one. Required. Do that. Okay? Okay, so we got John, Bobby, Jack, and Diane, of course, right? All right, so we've got our kids in there now. You add them, and you can take them out as easily as you add them, all right? Next element that we put in here was the issue. This is a checkbox one, all right? So we're going to click on the plus sign again, remember? Now we're going to choose checkboxes. Okay, so issue, and this is where you can type in the multiple things that you want. I would say, and I was talking to some of our staff, we're on the borderline of too many things here. The beauty of this is simplicity, and I love simple. That's like my Apple thing. I love simple stuff, I guess. It's powerful. This is a lot of things. You're going to have to choose how many issues you want to put on there. Disrespect. So, for example, here's we used to have disrespect and swearing. Why not have them as just disrespect? Okay? So, disrespect, swearing should be a part of that. So, disrespect, let's say attendance is one. Okay? And then blah, 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 another one. Then you can always click that other category right there, and if it's something else that's not on the list, that can, take, or that could replace having a ton of different options. Just have an other at the bottom, and you'll be good to go. Okay? So that's where you put the issue. And then lastly is the brief behavior description. All right, so I'm going to click OK, required. Oops. Hit plus again. Now this one was a short answer one. Short answer paragraph. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know the difference between the two. Maybe they give you more room in a paragraph?
Yes.
Okay. You want to do short answer then. Because you're going to have that teacher that wants to just get, as Peter likes to say, get that flesh, a chunk of flesh, to show that, I'm mad and I tried to do something and this is making me mad, So then you're going to type up 10 paragraphs. Make it short.
That's Shakespeare, right? Pound of flesh?
Yes.
It's my only way of saying this
It makes sense. It made sense to me when I was not an alternative guy. I got it right away. So put a short description of the behavior right there, then they can type that in. Okay, done. That's all it was. All right? Now, there's a couple things that you should know. So what you need to do next, you want to name it. We'll just call it that. Okay? You're going to want to send this out to your staff members. Click on send. Okay? Then in the, do this. You have to do this. Click on automatically collect respondents' email addresses. Why? That is how you get this stuff to show up. The email address one. So make sure to click on that one. Automatically collect their emails. Then you type in the email addresses of your staff. If you're lucky in your Google School, I can just type in AMC staff and then all of them will be sent to. Otherwise, you just type in all the different people. For this, I'm going to send it to Peter. Okay, just to show you kind of how it goes down when you do it. Okay, there we go. If you want someone else, let's say if you want someone else, see, I created this, so now only I can go back and add students, for example, when a new student gets enrolled. Let's say you want a couple of other people to help you out with that. Click on Add Collaborators, add someone else, invite people right here, then they can also do that. Be a smart move, okay? Okay, so I'll send it to Peter here. Send. Simple. Now it's been sent out to Peter. Peter will now have access to this right here. Okay? Now, how do you get to this? In the form, where it says responses. Okay? No responses yet. Right here. Create spreadsheet. So what you're going to want to do is click the very first one, the automatic, create a new spreadsheet. It will Google's going to automatically create a spreadsheet for you just like the one I have. There it is, your very own spreadsheet.
Can you sort from each one of those topics then too?
Now that I can't, no. To my knowledge, not as is, okay? I only like to show this because it's pretty neat, but I don't know how to do it. Our math teacher, for example, one problem we had was that it always shows the oldest ones first. He added reverse date sort, so now it sorts the newest stuff's on top. He also did it by student. You can sort it. I mean, this is just incredible what he did. I don't know. This was coding. He did some coding to do this. Okay? You come find me later. Otherwise, it's kind of like, I'm going to show you something you'll never be able to do unless you have access to our math teacher or another guy that's got time. Okay? So yeah. So there you go. You got your own thing. The only thing you need to add now, though, is you want to add the follow-up column. Okay? Follow-up column. Make it a little wider. Okay? Little tip. If you ever been typing in something and watch this, okay? That's no good. Goes into the next column. To fix that, in the top left corner of this box, click on it. Everything's highlighted. Next thing to do is you want to wrap the text. Click on text wrapping, go like that. All right, it'll do that for everyone. And now when I type in any one of these, it's going to do the same thing. It'll wrap the text. Okay? Any questions? Yeah.
You figure out how to bullet each cell? Or have bullets in each cell?
No. I don't know
Not me.
if you could just put in bullets. You see bullets on my screen anywhere? I don't. Nope, I don't know how to do that. Sure. If you find out, this is all about sharing, guys. Let me know. Okay? Last. Yeah, go ahead.
I align things, like I have numbers, and so sometimes I align them differently so that they're in the middle, so they aren't next to numbers
sure.
or whatever, just so that visually it looks different.
Yeah,
But
so
I
you
don't
could
know
go
how to
like
bullet.
this one here, you could do to the center. This one keep to the left. This one you could go to the right.
Or whatever.
You know, yeah, there's some variation that way. Absolutely possible. Many options. Okay? Last thing. And if you need to leave at any time, go ahead. These are my favorite sites. Okay? So, if on my website, if you go to the MAAP admin one, it's going to bring you on the bottom. The last thing there is going to be my favorite tech tools. If you click on it, it's going to show you my favorite tech tools and a link to each one of them. If you want to see this as a Google Doc and then add it to your Google Drive, click on the bottom where it says click here. Then you can do that. All right? I'm going to talk until you guys just seriously leave. I don't care. Leave if you must. All right? But I'm going to talk for a few more minutes. So my favorite tools. Here's what's up. There are so many tools out there. This is an industry. They're meant to make money, a lot of these people. They don't care so much about learning, about education, about what it can do for people. They're looking to make money. So that's why there's so many tools out there. Narrow it down. Tell your teachers to narrow it down. Okay? By the way, these are tools for your teachers mainly. Okay? I only use these 9 websites. I'm a big tech guy. You think maybe I use tons. This is all I use because it does everything I need it to do. Okay? Google Classroom is awesome. In Google Classroom, you can actually send out assignments. You can differentiate. Send out assignments to only a few people, or you send it to everybody. Pretty neat. Okay? I've got a video in one of the slideshows that shows that. Okay, I'm going to show just a few of these right here. Now, Insert Learning was created by a teacher here from Minnesota. It's kind of always cool to see. So what you do is you take any website. Okay, I'm going to go to CNN.com here and see what kind of Donald Trump bashing is happening today, you guys. All right, we'll go to, okay, let's go Bergdahl thing here. So you got an article, and you want kids to learn something about this article. You click on this Insert Learning, which you go to the Chrome store. You search Insert Learning extension. You add the extension, and then watch what I can do now. So you've got this website you want students to read and reflect on or answer a question, something like that. Oh, come on, pause. I'm not going to show you on this page. Instead, I'm going to go here. What you can do is you can add questions. So you can also highlight text. So on a website, you'll see I can highlight the text here. Click on highlight. Okay, draw attention that you actually put a note in there. Look at this. Okay, so the students will know, look at that. You can add a question, insert a question into a website. Okay, what, blah, 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 question mark, okay? Didn't spell it right, that's okay. Click on create, okay, it's a question. Then when students view this, they'll log in and they'll just see the website, like that CNN website that I showed you, they'll see it, but then for crazy, somehow, some of it's highlighted now. My teacher highlighted some of the website. There's a question in the middle of the website. Here's my favorite part is you can add a discussion. Because students will send us out to multiple, our teachers will send us out to multiple students, 10 at a time, let's say. You can ask a question, what are your thoughts? And have everybody answering this also respond to a classmate. So you can take, in this one, you can type your thoughts into this response area, and you can see other people's thoughts on the article.
Will it say who they?
It'll say who it is. Yeah. Okay. You can embed YouTube videos. It gets pretty crazy what you can do with this. Okay. So
Free
that's
or
one.
paid?
What's that?
Free or paid?
That one is going to be free for the first 5. Try it out, and then it's $40 a year after that. Not too bad. Free for the first 5. You can get away with only doing 5. That's something that's very common to people do.
Is it per teacher?
$40 per teacher. They also do group discounts and district discounts. The guys are really nice. If you go to Insert Learning and contact them, they'll get back to you right away. They'll talk to you about it. Very, very, very good. Very powerful. Okay. Ed Puzzle. This one's really cool. So, in the past, teachers have had that situation where you show a kid a video and you want them to respond or reflect on that video or answer some questions. So you have them do that either on paper or on a separate Google Doc. Don't do that. Instead, do this. Oops, hang on. You go to... Okay, so what I did here is, this is a video of Andrew Jackson. In that video, I embedded questions. So it goes the first 47 seconds here, kids are listening, and then, boom, it pauses. Now they have to answer this question. Briefly describe Andrew Jackson. After that, I actually include a little audio that tells them an extra bit of information. At the end, they've got another question that they have to answer. They click submit, and that's how you do a video assignment.
Are they able to skip through the video to get to the...
You can prevent them from skipping. You can click a box. You can they can also go back and rewatch a video, and this will be the last thing I show you because the people are coming in. But if they do that, if they have to watch a video more than once, you can actually... Ramsey. She watched all of it just once. If she watched these sections like 4 times, it'll turn red. Meaning that she had to go back 4 times and keep rewatching it to answer the question. Maybe it was a bad question that I asked.
It's a good assessment.
Awesome assessment tool. And you can see all the kids' answers to the questions by clicking on the question. Boom, there's all their answers. Okay? Yeah, so that's that. These other ones that I've got are great tools as well. They're all awesome. Soundtrack, that's the music recording program that I'm using now. Pretty cool. You can record music, collaborate with other people. Pear Deck, that's the one I started out with. So, all right. There you go. Thanks for joining us.